Hey guys, got another small hatchet restoration project here. This is another one I sniped off of eBay for just a couple of dollars. This is a small 1 1/4 pound hatchet made in Sweden. So I saw that and I'm like, I want to give it a try, see how the the old vintage Swedish steel is. And I picked this thing up and it really didn't need much cleaning. And when I got it though, here's the thing about eBay, guys. Things aren't always how they look in the pictures. And this is actually a little more beat up than what the pictures showed, So, now, one of my concerns was the edge of this was pretty chipped up. And so I knew right away, looking at this, that I was going to have to completely regrind the edge. And looking at the shape of this and the profile, I kind of immediately said, uh-oh. We may not have enough hardened steel here to do this. This might be a bit of a problem. I may have actually made a bad choice. So in order to determine whether I wanted to spend time grinding down a new edge on this and making this thing nice, I decided to test and see how much of the steel is hardened and how much has been worn away over time. And one way you can do that is to actually just very simply put it into a vinegar bath, and this is literally about an hour. And this is all nice and shiny. The person who sold this actually must have polished it up all nice. It was really nice and shiny. So you put it in the vinegar and it forces a nice kind of gray patina on it. But it also patinas the hardened steel differently than the softer steel. So it gives what's called a Hamon line. I hear some people pronounce it Hamon, but we're going to say Hamon because I think it's easier. The Hamon line is a line that shows up, the harder steel shows up darker in the patina than the softer steel. So what it does is it creates this line that you see here that lets you check to see how much hard steel you have left on the bit. And this one here, that I measured this, is just about 3/4 of an inch. So I definitely have enough hardened steel to successfully regrind and put an edge on this. I mean, as you can see, goes all the way back to here. So there's definitely enough to put a new edge. I really only need to grind that back, about to there. So it still leaves me with about 1/2 inch of hardened steel for that bit. So there's still a lot of life left in this little Swedish fellow, and it's quite a handsome looking design. I really do kind of dig it. It's a small 1 1/4, I think the stamping says here, and the 0.6. Guys, if you don't know what that 0.6 is, when you see a fraction like that stamped into an axe, it's like 0.5, 0.6, or maybe like 1.2. That's in kilograms. So if you see just a weird number stamped in, and it is for an axe, 9 times out of 10 it's the weight in kilograms. This one here obviously is probably being sold in America, so they have the weight in kilograms and in pounds. So nice little factoid for you here. So I think it's a nice looking axe. I think it's going to restore really well. As you can see, the patina, this was really shiny when I got it, and the patina is actually coming out quite nice. I got to do a little work removing some rust out of some of the pits up here. I'm going to smooth out the pole and put this on. I'm actually going to put this one on a handmade handle. I got some handles drying out in the garage, and I'm actually going to try my first hand handle, provided I can get the edge to come out nicely. This is actually really hard steel, guys. I took the old file to this sucker, and man, that file just skips over that like it's nothing. It's not biting into it at all. So it's actually a really, really hard steel. And I checked it, and one way, guys, to check the steel, aside from doing this and being able to see the line, is check your edge. Run your file over it, and if it really bites in hard, it might be a soft steel, but if it kind of skips over it and you really have to put a lot of pressure down, that's good. It's a harder steel. Now compare that to your pole. And if you get a little mushrooming, it's kind of nice because you can do that and compare it. And, of course, the pole is much, much softer than the edge. So I know we've got a good hard edge and a good soft pole, which is exactly what you want in an axe or a hatchet. So it looks to be like this one's going to work out quite nicely. But like I said, if you don't want to do the vinegar bath, you can just check it with a file and make sure that this is much harder than this. So hope you guys enjoyed. Nice little hatchet. I think this one cost me with shipping, maybe like 14 bucks. So it was a little more expensive than some of the other ones, but given it is a vintage Swedish hatchet, I was willing to pay a little bit more money just to give it a try and see how it turns out. And once again, guys, once I'm finished with this, I will show you the finished project. I might even do a video on making the handle, but for the time being, another neat eBay pickup for cheap.